Well, superstars, here we are back with the BMW. It's been a little while since we've tinkered with it at all, but we finally got something in the mail from China. So things are cheap from China, but they take a little while to get here. We're going to try and see if we can find a cheap way of reading and fixing the airbag light on this car. So it's the only light we're getting on the dashboard is the airbag light. Now I have this scanner. This is an OBDI II scanner. It's pretty basic, but a solid one. It's nice that it does both OBDI and 2. I also have this, which is a BMW software scanner for OBDI II. But the problem is, 1995 E38s are special in their own unique way. They're the only E38 that runs OBDI. So, I'm hoping this will do the check engine lights. Not that we have one, but it'll read the computer, except that it doesn't have an adapter for OBDI. I got a bunch of adapters, but none of them are BMW. This one, I don't know if it does OBDI, but if it does work, it might do the airbag. So what I've ordered, do a little bit of an unboxing here. Let's see what we got. This was about $40, and we got, it's supposed to be specific for this vehicle, that it should work. I did some research, and this was the closest thing I could find that might actually work. There's a few different options of these. So we have an OBDI II adapter, specifically for the BMW. So that's the BMW OBDI plug there. Get that out of its bag so you can see it a bit better. There we are. So that's the OBDI plug just there. And then that's an adapter to an OBDI II plug. So I'm hoping, first of all, what we've achieved with this is that we plug that in there, and now this being an OBDI reader, we'll at least be able to check codes and check engine lights for a BMW OBDI there. So I'm hoping that might work. We may also get lucky and we can plug that into this one here, and I'm not sure if this will read OBDI or not, but we'll give that a crack as well. If that works, then we shouldn't have a problem using that for airbag lights and things like that, getting the codes off of the airbags. It's got some software there, you plug it into a laptop, and it's essentially a BMW specific scan tool, so we could try that. And then lastly, what came in here is a basic airbag tool. Now again, this is plugged for OBDI II, but the listing said with the adapter it'll work on this car. Now, to be honest, my hopes aren't high, but we'll give it a crack. So here we go. It would cost me probably $100 just to take it to the store or to the mechanic and get these airbag codes read. So for $40, I'm going to have a crack on my own. We'll see if this works or not. I'll keep you posted as we go along. So fingers crossed. So just quickly, I thought we'd try it just the way it came out of the packet, see if it does what it's supposed to do. Alright, so here we are. That is our OBDI connector, so it just unscrews there, it lifts off. We've already got this together, so let's see as we plug it in. There we go. Well, we've got a connection, that's a good start. So according to the instructions, all I got to do is press this button to get a code read. There we go. E10 or 10E. So let's have a look at the instruction manual and see what that has to say. Okay, so here's our instruction manual. When I was looking and researching this, one thing everybody did warn is that these manuals were notoriously either hard to follow or just incorrect as far as codes go. But the first thing I did is right back here. So if you get an E code, chances are it's not connecting to the computer properly. I had a quick look online, and yep, people were saying E10 means it's not connecting properly, and if you go to try and clear it, you'll get an E11 code, which also means it didn't clear because it's not connected properly. And sure enough, when I tried with that one, it didn't work. We got the E11 code on clearing. So swing and a miss on that one. So that airbag tool, it gets mixed reviews online. Some people say it never worked for them. Some people say it works great. I don't know whether that was a bad tool or whether it was the combination of that tool and this car. It was supposed to work on this car, it did say specifically it worked for all E38s including a 1995, and that's why it came with that adapter, but no luck for us, so I'll put it on the shelf for now, and when we get access to a newer BMW maybe we'll plug it in and see if it works at all, but for now that one's a no-go. I also tried plugging that adapter into this guy here, and no-go there either. It was completely dead. This guy couldn't read the car or register it was plugged in or anything like that, so that was a swing too. So 2 strikes. However, third option was my BMW specific scanning software, and I've just spent some time installing the software on my laptop. Didn't work, didn't register, mashed on keys, read some forums, just pressed on buttons blindly and installed random drivers, and finally we've had a win. So let me show you what's going on. A win, and here we go. I've done the scan already just because it takes a while. There's a lot of things it scans. So you can see we've got 3 pages of potential systems. It being a 95 is pretty primitive, so we've found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 systems it can read. So we've got no errors on the cruise control. We've got no errors with the motor, so that's good. We've got a few with the gearbox, and the immobilizer has a couple of messages as well, but this is the one we're interested in here, the SRS, or the airbag system there. So double click on there and let's see what we've got. So we have the passenger belt tensioner. It's pretty specific. I think we know what that is. So that's really good. We might as well clear it whilst we're here. I don't expect it to fix it, because usually when there's an error in these systems, it means maybe a circuit's open or something like that. So you have to actually go in and fix those, but at least we know where the problem is now. So it's the passenger seatbelt tensioner. I'm going to clear that right now. Okay, well it's gone for now. Let's close that out. And the car hasn't started, the ignition's still on, so it probably hasn't run a check. So I'm going to take the computer out of the engine bay. We'll start the car, and as I say, my expectation is that light will come straight back on, but you never know, we could get lucky. Okay, here we are. Let's see what happens. Oh, there it goes, it flashed off and straight back on. So whatever that error is in that seatbelt tensioner, it's still there. So we're going to do some research online, see what we need to do to fix it. But hey, at least we know where to start, and I call that a win for today. Engine bay, just sense checking it now so that we can confirm we know what's going on. Let's look at the errors. There you go, you can wave it yourself in the reflection there, and there it is. That passenger seatbelt tensioner error is back. So we know where the issue is. Nice, good news in itself. At least it gives us something to start, and probably nothing too serious by the sound of it, maybe just a faulty connection. Bit of an update. Unfortunately I didn't get this on video because I didn't expect it to happen, but check this out. So watch that airbag light, this is very exciting. Comes on with the ignition, start the car, it's gone! So I didn't record what I did, but I promise you I will show you exactly the steps I took. So firstly, what is an airbag tensioner? Well, basically what it is when the airbag system fires in an accident, this seatbelt buckle sucks itself down into the seat to tighten the seatbelt instantly as the airbag goes off. Okay, at the other end of the seatbelt buckle is this metal tube right there, and what happens in an accident is there's a little explosive device in there that causes the other end of the buckle to shoot up that tube, which then in turn pulls that buckle down into the seat. Now when you do any reading at all on this kind of problem, everybody who's dealt with it says the first thing you should do is check your wiring connectors. And it makes sense when you have a look at them and look at where they are, because here's your main seat wiring loom right there, that's right down here in the footwell, in amongst all the dirt and the dust. And this one right in here, if you can see that little red connector right down in there, that's the connector to the actual belt tensioner itself. That's right here in between the armrest and the seat, right where everybody drops all their coffee and their french fries and everything through the life of the car. So this being, what is it, a 25-year-old car, has 25 years worth of dust and grime and dirt in those two connectors. So I didn't believe it would work, but all I did was pop both of those connectors off. So with this one, you stick a screwdriver in there, that pops out that way, which in then turn pries this out. And this one down here, you stick your hand underneath here and you can reach it, just lift it up and it pops out there. I then sprayed both of them, that in there, both sides of it, and both sides of this with electrical cleaner. I had some mass airflow cleaner, that's all I had on me, so sprayed them all down really well, plugged them in and unplugged them 2 or 3 times. So I plugged my computer back in, like we did before, cleared those codes, and then started her up, and now we have no airbag light. It's a good day for literally about 4 squirts of electrical cleaner. We have no warnings on our dash light except for a couple of bulbs that I need to go through and replace. So very exciting, we now have a smooth running BMW, which you saw in previous videos, how we solved that. We've gotten rid of our airbag light, and so here we go, we have a going concern, running, registered, and more importantly here in Australia, re-registerable. It'll now pass its safety check, so yay all round. So there we go, 2 strikes with the first 2 scanners, but then a home run with the last one. So yeah, make sure you check those connectors if you have any of those warning lights, but also we learned that you need to have something to reset, because even if you do clean them and fix it, it's not going to turn itself off on its own. It's not one of those things where the light goes out when the problem goes away. It still has to be manually reset with the right software. Well, I hope for some of you out there that might prove useful. My personal experience, don't bother with the cheap airbag tool, especially on OBDI I, but you never know, so other people say they've had good luck with them, so for $40 maybe it's worth a try, but I'd go straight to the BMW specific software. I wasn't sure if it would work on OBDI I, but with that adapter and a bit of effort and some research online, I got the computer to hook up to the car, reset that airbag code, and happy days. Alright everybody, have fun out there. We'll see you next time. I think probably our next job is going to be working on project car. I've got an electrical drain there, so fun times on that one. See you then.